Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 21 September 2023. It's Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have, and it's a big one, boys. 38 sale lots, all singles, all knives. And we have a diverse bunch for you tonight. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do some housekeeping. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. The description being very important as you navigate the weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Above the terms of the sale in the description, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is called A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. If you're new, I really encourage you to watch that because it explains exactly how we do things and why every week. The second link is FAQs for Consignors. That video is pertinent if you are a collector who needs to move along some of his collection and you'd like to use this weekly sales event to do it. That video explains how this all works from the consignors end of things. And the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So, to cover exactly what's in the description, you got those 3 links at the top. Then you got the terms of the sale. Then at the very bottom, what y'all came for, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you're generally going to see 2 numbers. The one on the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The price on the right as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening this week as I will be in the Smoky Mountains on a motorcycle on Friday. So expect your sharpened knife to ship in about 4 weeks. Also, don't look for your knives in the mailbox Monday morning because all the knives purchased tonight will ship Tuesday the 26th as I'm administering the sale from our Airbnb in Robbinsville, North Carolina. So I'm nowhere near the knives that I'm selling tonight. Well, I'll get back Monday evening and mail everything out on Tuesday. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in the description, that means that knife has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an I'll take it for anything marked sold in the inventory list. I believe that's it. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you now, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we've got 7 leftovers from last week at some extremely attractive prices. First among them is this from Protech. We have the Les George designed, what? No, it's not in a mirror, it's backwards. It is the Protech SBR left-handed version in murdered colorway. SBR stands for, what does it stand for? Short-bladed something, I forget. But it's like a little mini Les George, 2 5/8 S35 VN blade, not super thick, looks like it might be a little under 1/8 of an inch, and a handle of 3 7/8 in hard anodized black, aircraft grade aluminum. Fits the hand great for a short knife. Lockup is rock solid. Buttons on the other side. You've got a left hand deep carry tip up clip. Very snappy, Protech action. And where's my button? There it is. Let's look at the blade centering. It's down the middle. I'm going to call this near mint in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $212 web retail. We ran this one last week at $190, didn't sell. Dropped it to $175 on Saturday. It's still here. Let's do $160, like it is $185 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Protech SBR Lefty Murdered. Next up, we have one from the Ultramar line of Ramon Chaves. This one is a Rendencion 229, and we're calling this in the description Black OD and Canvas. Black OD Canvas. So one of the very few of the Rendencion 229s that are actually scaled in a material other than titanium, and the titanium is hard anodized black. It looks like it's got a little tumble finish on it. So what do we got here? We have a 3 9/16 inch blade in M390, tumbled DLC finish, stainless steel inserted titanium frame lock with 3 o'clock lockup, which I really like geometrically, ball bearing pivot, and thumb studs. Centering is perfect. Condition is near mint in box, and if you don't like the garish Mick Jagger skull clip, you got a nondescript milled titanium clip you can swap out. So these are out of stock at web retail of $350. We ran this one last week for $275. Didn't sell, so we dropped it to $250 for the weekend. It's still here. Let's do $230 and $260 with an ApostleP edge on the Chaves Ultramar Rendencion 229 Black and OD Canvas. Next up, from the big brain of my buddy Ben Belkin, we have a Jack Wolf knife. It is the Midnight Jack in natural canvas micarta. It's got an aluminum tube can thing and some swag, and comes in a nice split grain leather slip. The Midnight Jack emulates a sheep's foot Barlow. You have a titanium frame with integral bolsters, natural canvas micarta covers. It is a fusion slip joint, modern materials and construction with a classic mechanism. It's a half-stop slip joint, and it does close using a kick, not an internal stop pin, so you get the right torque, right? Yeah, that's how it should sound. M390 blade, 2 15/16 inches in length, full height hollow ground with a fuller and a swedge. The handle is 3 3/16. Pull is about a 7. Perfect walk and talk, and dead centering. Condition on this, we will say, is near mint in box. I don't really see a mark on it, maybe just a little sheath wear. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were new, you could buy them for $275 web retail. We ran this last week at $235, dropped it to $215 for the weekend. This week, $200 and $225 with an ApostleP edge on the Jack Wolf Midnight Jack. Next up, another one from Jack Wolf, left over from last week. This is the Sharpshooter Jack, and as the name would indicate, it is indeed a gun stock pattern. Again, in a beautiful split grain leather slip. Here we go. Classic gun stock styling. Again, an integral bolster and end cap titanium frame. Natural canvas micarta covers. A rather sinister looking clip point blade in M390. 2 7/8 inches of blade. Full height hollow ground with a nail nick and what appears to be a drawn swedge, although that it's CNC milled, I'm sure. Handle is 3 3/4. Again, it's going to stop on a kick, not an internal stop pin, so listen to the walk and talk, guys. Yeah. It's more of a snap close than a thunk like you get with the internal stop pin. Pull weight is about a 7 and maybe a 7.5. This has been used and sharpened, but very lovingly sharpened, guys. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but don't think it needs it, okay? So these are out of stock at all the retailers. When they were available, they were $275 web new. We ran this at $235 last week, dropped it to $215 for the weekend. Let's do $200 on this one, $225 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Jack Wolf Sharpshooter Jack. Next up, we have one from Boker Plus, just a pouch, no outer box with this one. It is the Brad Zinker designed Urban Trapper, and it'll say in your inventory list TI because it is the all titanium version of the Urban Trapper. Knife weighs nothing, guys. Didn't grab a weight, but it's got to be 2 ounces-ish. So, you got a VG10 blade with something that sure looks a lot like hand-rubbed satin. 3 3/8 inches in length, 4 1/4 handle. So very efficient blade to handle ratio. It is a titanium frame lock with no steel insert, but man does it behave well. Great lockup, no stick. It is a ball bearing flipper. Flips great. There's your lock engagement. And there is your centering. If you can see that, it's perfect. We'll call this near mint to like new in pouch. Price of these brand new at your favorite internet website is $150. We ran this one last week at $110. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $95 for the weekend. Let's do $85 on this one. $110 if you like it with my edge. That is the Boker Plus Urban Trapper in titanium. Next up, and the last of our leftovers from last week, this is from Miguron Knives. Just a pouch, no outer box with this one. Pretty sweet looking blade. This is the Pagos in marble carbon fiber. So a titanium frame lock knife with a beautiful sort of lion steel-esque fine milling pattern, and then the carbon fiber is inlaid. Milled titanium clip, right hand tip up only. It is, I guess, is it a front flipper? It kind of is. But basically, it's a ball bearing pivot with thumb studs. Blade length on the Pagos is 3 3/16. The material is M390. A beautiful shimmering bead blast with a gorgeous fuller, blue thumb studs, blue pivot hardware. Solid titanium backspacer. Handle length is 4 1/4. There's your lock engagement. It's dead rock solid. Action's beautiful. Centering is perfect. Like new in pouch is your condition. These are out of stock at all retailers. They were $190 when they were last available. We ran this at $130 last week. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $110 for the weekend. Let's do $95 this week. And $125 if you'd like my edge on that M390 blade. That is the Miguron Pagos in marble carbon fiber. Okay, on to the fresh stuff. We're going to start it off with a super cool knife from Wee. Oh, we've got the Pearl and Gold box. Must be a nice one. This is the model number LE2009B Kitefin. And a pretty wild scale material, I gotta say. Check that out, boys. Oh my. That is, what do we call this? Shred copper carbon fiber. That pops. Kind of reminds me of those Raffir Noble chaparrals from Spyderco. Pretty cool stuff. So you got a 4 1/4 inch handle. You got a ball bearing flipper mechanism. Very interesting blade finish, guys. CPM 20 CV blade, 3 3/16 inches long. It looks like it's bead blasted and then given a hand rubbed satin over top of the bead blast, which I think looks really cool. Just does. Of course, it's a titanium frame lock with a steel lock face insert. It locks up thusly. Rock solid. Perfect centering. And let's see. It is a titanium deep carry spring clip on the Kitefin. Very squared away package. Love the bronze hardware too. And if you notice, the clip is flame anode titanium, which kind of looks good. So these are out of stock at $200 web retail. We're going to do this one like new in box. $150 like it is. $180 with an ApostleP edge. The Wii LE2009B Kitefin. Next up, we have another Wii, but it's going to come just in a Civivi pouch, okay? It is like the most famous Wii. It's kind of like the Spyderco Delica of Wii. It is the model 2004J Banter. In green, something like canvas micarta, black hardware, black deep carry clip, although it is right-hand tip-up only. Black blade that looks like a mildly tumbled DLC finish. S35VN is your blade material, 2 7/8 inches in length, 3 5/8 inches of handle. Super efficient blade to handle ratio. My buddy John has one of these in a different colorway, but it is his absolute favorite pocket knife. Stainless steel liner lock, locks up thusly. Ball bearing pivot with thumb studs. Centering is dead down the middle. Great detent, great thumb flick. Rock solid lockup. It is like new, wrong pouch, okay? Price of these brand new on your favorite internet website will be $110. We're going to do this one at $80. Shipped, priority mail, $105 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Wii 2004J Banter OD canvas and DLC. I don't know if that's really OD green, but it is green. Next up, got one from Kizer. And this knife is going to come in an unidentified pouch, so no original packaging. It is the Kizer Ki3490 T1, designed by Uli Henneke. And it is rather attractive, I must say. It is a titanium frame lock steel inserted for lock integrity. We got a milled titanium clip, right hand tip up. The back spacer has an integrated lanyard hole. Thumb studs and ball bearings. Gorgeous drop point blade. Beautiful stone wash. S35VN is your blade steel. 3 1/4 is your blade length. 4 3/8 is the handle length. Just screams pocket knife, doesn't it? Yep. There's your lock engagement. It's dead rock solid. Ball bearings are super free. Blade centering is dead perfect. We'll call it like new in the wrong pouch. Price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer, $175. Let's do this one at $135, like it is. $160 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Kizer Ki3490 T1. Next up, another one from Kizer. This one will also come in an unidentified pouch, no original packaging. It is the V3575 Deviant, and your inventory will say copper and micarta because of the copper bolsters and the micarta scales. It is a stainless steel liner lock knife. The clip is polished stainless, deep carry, right hand only, tip up. Thumb stud deployment, kind of a modified sheep's foot blade with a bi-finish. You got horizontal satin on the flats, beautiful stone wash on the primary bevel. 3 1/8 inches of M390, and then 4 1/8 of handle. There is your lock engagement. It is dead solid. Ball bearings are beautifully smooth and free. And the blade centering is perfect. We'll call this like new wrong pouch. These are discontinued and out of stock when they were last available. And that is a brown linen micarta, by the way. When they were last available, they were $125 web retail. Let's do this one at $95 like it is. And $125 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Kizer V3575 Deviant, copper, and micarta. Next up, we got another Kizer. This one will come in its original pouch, but without its outer box, and I think it's just the knife. Yeah, no goodies. Whoever needs them anyway. So this is the Kizer Ki4545 Genie, and your description will denote the carbon fiber scales. And that looks like a wicked shred carbon fiber. It is great looking. There's a little bit of a mill pattern in there, I believe. My fingers are detecting. Hard to see with the pattern of the carbon fiber. You will get a sort of lightning bolt shaped milled titanium clip that will be, looks like right hand tip up only. It is a front flipper with kind of a lamb foot blade. Pretty cool. It is S35VN, 3 7/16 inches in length. So it's a long, slim knife a la Benchmade 940. The handle is 4 3/8, so efficient blade to handle ratio. It is a stainless steel liner lock. Locks up thusly, and it is rock solid. Let's see, can you front flip that? I bet you could. Can you open it with the hole? Yes, you can. Little gear pattern backspacer going on. Nice jimping, but it's not very useful. Lockup is dead solid. Lockup is good looking. Ball bearings work great. The centering is perfect. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, the name Genie is German for genius. How about that? Price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer will be $158. Let's do this one at $120 like it is, $145 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Kizer Genie in carbon fiber. Next up, one of my favorite knives I'll never buy, just because it's made in China. It is the Drop and Ray Laconico Keen in the all titanium configuration. Just a beautiful form and function piece of cutlery. Nicely executed. Beautiful crowned and blasted titanium handle. It is a titanium frame lock, steel inserted. Just simplicity done right. Milled titanium clip, right hand tip up only. Flipper deployment. Nice firm detent. Beautiful flipping action. A full flat ground spear point blade. An S35VN. It is 3 3/8 inches in length. The handle is 4 1/2. The lockup is rock solid, and it goes right there. Ball bearings are beautiful, and the centering is perfect. The condition on the Keen, like new in pouch. These are out of stock when they were last available. They were $165 web retail. Let's do this one at $120 like it is. $145 with an ApostleP edge. The Drop Laconico Keen all tie. Next up, we got one from a manufacturer that I don't think I've ever seen before. It does not come with factory packaging. It comes in a Civivi pouch. This is from Off Grid Knives, and it is the Scorpion Stratus version 1. So for those of you who keep up with this brand, you know that the Stratus is now in V2, which I believe is M390. This one is S35VN. So you got a tumbled titanium handle, carbon fiber inlays, deep carry, ambidextrous, titanium spring clip, tip up, steel inserted titanium frame lock, ball bearing flipper, sinister looking blade. I don't know what shape you would call that. It is the Scorpion Stratus shape. Bi-finished in horizontal satin on the flats and then stone washed on the bevels and swedge. You got 3 13/16 inches of blade, not small. 4 7/8 inches of handle. There's your lock engagement. Dead rock solid. Action should be pretty drop shutty, pretty heavy blade. And centering is very close, but I think it might slightly favor the left. I wonder if we can remedy that real quick. Let's see. Well, let's just give it a shot, shall we? I think we did. Pivot screw just needed a little bit of a tweak. How about that? Okay. So we'll call it like new in the wrong pouch. Now these are discontinued and out of stock. I believe they were about $190 brand new for version 1. I know the version 2 and M390 are available now. They are $217 web retail. Let's do $140 on this one, and then $165 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the off-grid Scorpion Stratus version 1. Great looking spine. Next up, got one from Bestech Knives, kind of the Bestech flagship, I think. You're going to get the pouch, no outer packaging. It's the Bestech BT1910D Shodan. Murdered, but interestingly murdered, right? We got like a marbled carbon fiber scale, and then the rest of the knife is bronze anodized, and then over top of that we have black, and then it's tumbled to reveal the bronze edges. Very, very cool. Steel inserted titanium frame lock with an over travel stop built into the insert. Milled titanium right hand tip up clip. Low profile flipper, works great. It appears that even the blade might have some bronze undertones, but I could be seeing that wrong. Anyway, S35VN blade, 3 13/16 inches in length. Some nice details in the ricasso. The handle is 4 13/16. So although there's a lot going on and it's shaped like a strider, still very efficient blade to handle ratio and very nice in the hand. There's your lock engagement. It is rock solid. Kind of drop shutty on the bearings, perfect centering. We'll call it like new in pouch. Price of these brand new is $246 web retail. Let's do $180 as shown, shipped priority mail, and then if you'd like my edge, add $25. So $205 sharpened on the Bestech BT1910D Shodan. Murdered. Next up, I have another knife in the wrong pouch. This will come in a Civivi pouch, but it's actually from Drop and Ferrum Forge. And those of you who've been listening to me drone on for years know that although this is a Chinese-made knife, it's a really squared away little gents folder. Rosewood scales on this, and they are solid wood, not laminated product. And man, does that stuff look nice. It almost looks like a blonde mahogany. Very, very nice. So what is the gent? Well, it is a pretty standard knife. Flipper on bearings, S35VN blade, bead blasted blade, nearly full flat ground, kind of a droppy, speary thing. A super low profile clip, although it is polished stainless steel. Deep carry, tip up, ambidextrous. I'm going to call this a titanium frame lock. It's really a frame lock with scales over top, more than I would call it a liner lock. There's your lock engagement, and this is a non-inserted titanium frame lock, but it's fine. No stick, dead solid, no slip. Locks up thusly, rock solid. Blade centering, perfect. Let's see. Blade is 2 15/16. Handle 3 15/16. We'll call this near mint to like new in the wrong pouch. These are out of stock. Might be the best looking gent ever. When they were available, they were $130. Let's do this one at $100, like it is. $125 with my edge. The Drop Ferrum Forge gent in rosewood. Next up, in 10 years, these knives are going to bring blood. It is a cold steel in a wee pouch. Don't ask me about how this consignor and his containers got so mixed up, but they did. What the heck? Who cares? From Cold Steel, it is the AD10. It's kind of like the big mama jama of the Demco era of Cold Steel. It has a triad lock. It has crowned and blasted satin black G10. Now, because I don't have the box or packaging, it only has the right-hand clip, which I don't think will swap. I don't think. You could probably get it to screw down, but I think the clip would be in the wrong place. But anyway, so let's say it's right-hand tip-up only. Aluminum liners on the triad lock mechanism to save weight on a knife that weighs half a pound. S35 VN blade, beautifully ground spear point, 3.5 inches in length. The handle 5 5/16, so we got tons of real estate. We can move around all over the place. It fills the hand. It's awesome. I think you might even be able to impact things with the stainless steel. Is that stainless or is it probably anodized aluminum backspacer? Yeah. So the lockup is like a triad lock, meaning perfect. Beautifully smooth action. Centering is, man, if it ain't perfect, it's very doggone close. So we'll say near mint to like new, no box. Price of these brand new, $150 web retail. Let's do $120 on this one, and $145 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That's the Cold Steel AD10. Next up, got a very interesting little gents folder. It is a ZT that comes in a Civivi pouch. It is the ZT0235. I guess we're calling these double detent slip joints. So yeah, we got carbon fiber scales. We got a blue hard anodized aluminum backspacer. We got a super slim, low profile, shorty, ambidextrous, deep carry, tip up clip. And then we got this blade. So there's no spring tension. It's just a detent that closes it, a detent that half stops it, and then it opens. And pretty rigid at the full open position. That blade, I guess we'd call that a spear point. It's a strange looking spear point. 2 5/8 inches of stonewash 20 CV. The handle is 3 3/4. Blade centering is dead perfect. It's kind of satisfying, though, the crispness of those detents, I gotta say. This is near mint to like new, no box. I'm gonna say it has good walk and talk for what it is. It's a pretty cool knife, and it ought to perform really well. Super skinny little slicer, full flat ground. Nice little zero tolerance etch on the spine. So yeah, these are $204 web retail, currently in stock at your favorite knife source. Let's do $160 on this one like it is. $185 with an Apostle P edge. That's the ZT0235. Next up, more ZT and more Civivi pouch. No box. This is the ZT0450CF, Dmitry Sienkiewicz designed. Sweet little flipper. Man, these things are everywhere. And the carbon fiber version will also get you the black titanium frame, the black ambidextrous tip-up clip. We've got a steel inserted titanium frame lock with over travel built into the insert. We got a nicely designed flipper. Superb flipping action. The blade, S35VN, beautifully DLC coated. Gorgeous cut swedge. Rock solid lockup. In case you don't know, 3 1/4 inches of blade, 4 3/16 inches of handle. So very efficient blade to handle ratio. Very nice ergos for a smallish knife. We'll say this one's near mint to like new, no box. Web retail for these currently in stock knives is $228 at your favorite knife store. This one, let's do $145 like it is, $170 with an Apostle P edge. That's the ZT0450CF. Time to turn the page. And next up, we have another ZT in a Civivi pouch. It is the ZT0562CF, the Hinderer Slicer Design ZT, carbon fiber scale, hourglass standoffs, ambidextrous deep carry tip-up clip, titanium frame lock, nice stone wash. You got the Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, you got the steel lock bar insert, you got a ball bearing flipper. My fingers are on the lock bar, and it does flip. Psych. No death lock on this one. The blade, 20 CV, 3.5 inches in length. And for those of you who've never seen one of these in person, the slicer grind is kind of a spiral. So you got a grind that's this high out here, and then it's only this high back here. But they achieve consistent edge thickness throughout. So that grind, it spirals down. It's kind of flat out here, and as you come back, it's pretty cool. It can't be fun to program that. It really can't. But anyway, lockup is dead rock solid. Centering is right down the middle. Flipping action is awesome. If you get your other hand out of the way, it's awesome. There you go. Okay. Condition on this one, I'm going to call near mint no box, because you probably can't see it, but it's tipped. There's kind of a raggedy little chip right at the tip. So there you go. Price of these has crept up. They are $292 MAP pricing, or web retail. We're going to do this one at $210 like it is. $240 with my edge. So for $52 less than a new one, with free shipping and no sales tax, you can have this knife with my edge on it. That'll be way better than a new one. That is the ZT0562CF. Next up, we got an old pair of blue jeans in black. It is not a Civivi. It is a Spyderco, but no box. But it comes in a Civivi pouch. It is an Endura 4. Black, Volcano grip, FRN handle, 4-way clip in black. Midlock with the David Boy dent to prevent accidental release. There's a commercial in there somewhere. VG10 blade, flat saber ground, rock solid lockup. Nice free action. Centering is pretty doggone close to perfect, if not so. The condition is near mint to like new, no box. They're still making the saber ground Endura 4. They are $96 web retail. Let's do this one at $65. Like it is, $90 with an ApostleP edge. By the way, 3 13/16 inch blade, 4 15/16 is your handle length. There's a pretty nice buy. There's a great glove box knife right there. The Spyderco Endura 4. Next up, another Spyderco with no box, but a Civivi pouch. This is the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight. I think in its original configuration, which is with the translucent Burple synthetic handle, ambidextrous tip-up wire clip, caged ball lock, and a beautifully like tumble polished blade in CTS BD1. 3 7/16 blade, 4 5/8 handle. It is an ergonomic dream. The Manix 2 is my buddy Peter's favorite Spyderco. He thinks it blows the Para 2 away. Okay, that's why they make them both. So let's see, lockup, perfect. Action, perfect. Centering, perfect. Condition, near mint to like new, no box. They're still making this knife. It's $127 at your favorite internet knife store with your retail discount. Let's do $95 on this one. $120 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight, Burple, and BD1. Next up, we have arrived at the Rob's Pick in tonight's sale. It's another Spyderco in a Civivi pouch. No box. It is. It's kind of my favorite non-sprint run, non-dealer exclusive special paramilitary 2. It is the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. Yes, natural canvas micarta scales. Bright hardware. Bright clip, 4-way of course. Blade. And CPM crewware. And man, what a beautiful satin on that, especially if I get my icky, greasy fingerprints off it. I mean, look at that thing. Free drop in action. Blade centering is pretty much perfect, and I guarantee you can make it perfect if you think it's not. Now let's do the lockup. It is rock solid, man. Yeah. So condition is near mint to like new, no box. Web retail price at your favorite internet knife store is $203. Let's do this one at $165 like it is. $190 with my edge. The Rob's pick is the Spyderco Para 2 natural canvas and crewware. Next up, a great deal on a Benchmade. So this is kind of the OG version of my favorite, well, I shouldn't say it, one of my favorite Benchmades ever. So you guys know I love the Super Freak. This is the Freak, the 560 Freak in its original configuration, which features a dual durometer synthetic handle. So the gray, hard. The black, it's like Kraton. I'm not sure what they call it. With a consistent pattern throughout, except it's checkered in the middle. It's very cool. Parkerized split arrow clip, ambidextrous tip up. Axis lock mechanism. S30V blade. 3 9/16 inches of it. And then the handle length is 4 13/16. It is a superb knife handle. You can even creep up on it if you want, I think. Axis lock lockup is rock solid. Let's see, does it drop free on this one? Almost a free dropper. Plenty flingable, right? Blade centering dead, I think. Dead. Near mint to like new in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. The last web pricing I found was a clearance price, I think, at Blade HQ. They were $114 and they're gone. Let's do $90 like it is. $115 with an ApostleP edge. Near mint to like new in box. The Benchmade 560 Freak. Next up, another Benchmade I was pretty excited about when these came out. So this is the 531 Pardue. Kind of an update and a little, I think, an improvement over the 530, and it is a little larger knife. So what's different? Well, the 530 had a black handle, and it's kind of a modified coffin shape, which looks so good in this black and gray layered G10 after the milling. I mean, man. And then the Parkerized split arrow clip just sets it all off. It is a super slim, super light axis lock knife. So if you'll remember, the 530 had a spear point blade, but it had a very low flat saber grind with kind of a center spine running down like a faux dagger shape. This is a much more usable pattern. So it's a swedged spear with a very high flat grind. 154 cm steel, 3 1/4 inches long, with a 4 1/8 handle. So very efficient blade to handle ratio. Small thumb studs. Everything is light and fast on this knife. Not quite flinging. There you go. Rock solid lockup and perfect blade centering. Condition on this will be near mint to like new in box. These are discontinued and out of stock when they were last available. They had a map price of $140. Let's do $110 on this one. $135 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Benchmade. 531 Pardue, discontinued and out of stock. Next up, oh, it's our last Benchmade tonight, and it's kind of a special one. It is the fairly new release, the 748 Narrows. This is not an inexpensive Benchmade. So here we go, guys. Titanium handle, I believe the hardware is blue anodized titanium. It might be aluminum and stainless. I don't know. Very interesting knife because it's only that thick. You've got the blue anodized clip that is the shorty deep carry from the bug out. Nice integrated lanyard hole. And then an interesting execution of the axis lock. Got the ramped bar ends. And the way they've tucked the Omega springs in is very interesting. It doesn't use the cartridge lock like the Anthem did, but it's interesting. And it is on ball bearings. What do we got here? 3 3/8 inches of M390. A gorgeous swedged spear. Maybe it's a drop point. The handle, 4 5/8. Rock solid lockup. You saw the ball bearing action. Not as noisy as the Anthem, by the way. Blade centering is perfect, and it would need to be because there's not much room in there. And the weight on these, 2.41 ounces. Not only has the titanium been milled out on the outside for aesthetic, but that same pattern kind of carries through to the inside. It weighs nothing, yet it's pretty strong. It is, like new in the box, web retail for these. Gulp, $522. I think that's more than a Sebenza. Well, we're going to cut you some slack. Sold listings on eBay run between $410 and $475. This one is like new in box. I'll call it a perfect example. Your price, $425, like it is, $455 with an Apostle P. I adjust the Benchmade, 748 narrows. Next up, we have one from Buck Knives. What's inside? Well, it's kind of hard to tell from the model number, but what we have here is the Buck 110 Slim Pro TRX with OD green G10 scales, a black deep carry ambidextrous tip-up clip, thumb studs, and an S30V blade. Standard 110 dimensions, 3 5/8 blade, 4 7/8 handle, lockback design, linerless G10 construction. This thing weighs very little and super slim. The lockup is rock solid, strong lock spring. Centering on this one looks pretty dead down the middle. Condition like new in box. Price of these brand new, your favorite internet knife seller, is $110. Let's do this one at $75, near mint to like new in the box, $100 with my edge on it. That is the Buck 110 Slim Pro TRX. And next up, it's the little brother. Also from Buck. Made in the USA. It's the 112 Slim Pro TRX. So the smaller version of the 110. This one's scaled in black G10. Same lockback design. Same deep carry ambidextrous tip-up clip. Same thumb studs. Same S30V blade, just a little shorter. 2 7/8 inches of blade. 4 1/4 inches of handle. Super sweet action on this one. Rock solid lockup. And the blade centering, I think it favors the right very slightly, but it's very slightly. Let's see. Near mint to like new in box. Price of these web or retail is $100. Let's do $65 on this one. And then $90 with my edge. That's the Buck 112 Slim Pro TRX in black G10. Next up, I know you guys have corrected me on the pronunciation of this name. The knife is from Kizer and it is the V4458 N2 Begleiter. I don't know. But this would be the standard liner lock version. It is scaled in coarse but not super grabby, a la Cold Steel, OD Green G10. Blue pivot collars. The clip is going to be ambidextrous. Sure looks like it's ambidextrous. It is. Tip up. The blade is N690, 3 9/16 inches long, a beautiful gray coating of what material, I'm not quite sure. A subtle clip point, 4 5/8 handle, stainless steel liner lock. It's on washers. Say it ain't so. Phosphor bronze washers and thumb studs, works just fine. Centering is dead. This one has been not touched. It is near mint in box. Price of these web retail I think is $59 plus tax and postage. Let's do 40 on this one. 65 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That is the Kizer V4458 N2 Begleiter. Next up. Now be careful of your model numbers and descriptions on your I'll Take It's, because we have another Kizer, and it is another Begleiter. This is the V4458.2 BC1, and it is a button lock version. And they say this is a green micarta. It is a canvas micarta product. Let's see. Let's get it wet. I would agree. It's green. OD green. It'll look more like that after it experiences your hand for a while. So it's a button lock with thumb stud deployment. 154 cm is your blade steel on this one. 3 9/16 blade. 4 5/8 of handle. The clip will be ambidextrous deep carry tip up. This one is on bearings. It's perfectly centered. It has perfect action. It has rock solid lockup. I like that. This has been used and touched up. It is near mint in box. Web price of these brand new, $84 plus tax and postage. Let's do this one at 60, all in, shipped priority mail, 85 with my edge on it. That's the Kizer V4458.2 BC1 Begleiter button lock. Make sure in your I'll Take It that you differentiate between this one and the liner lock that came just before. Next up we have one I'm assuming from a Chinese brand I've never seen before. Sencut. It looks like a Civivi or Wii label. So maybe the same factory, I don't know. This is the S21012-5 Crowley in, I don't know how you say that, Wiborsha wood. It's really good looking wood. This is a lot of knife for the money. You're not going to believe the price on this. So look at the wood. It is a solid wood product, not laminated, not plywood. Man, look at the grain in that. Then you got a black milled titanium clip that's ambidextrous tip up. We got a button lock, flipper, on ball bearings, D2 blade, tumbled DLC, 3 7/16 inches in length, 4 9/16 handle. Centering is very close to perfect, if not perfect. Whoops. Rock solid lockup. Man, that's so nice. Near mint to like new in box. They sell these for $49 web retail. Let's do 35 all in, shipped priority mail. And After you take out the postage, you're buying the knife for $24.80. So 35 bucks like it is, all in, shipped, priority mail, 60 with my edge. That's the Sencut S21012-5 Crowley. Next up, it's Civivi time. In the box with the pouch, all the goodies. This is the C21006B1 Conspirator. So, it is a stainless steel, no, it's a stainless steel lined knife, but it is a button lock and it's scaled in black hard anodized aluminum. Milled titanium clip, tip up, ambidextrous. Ball bearing flipper with a pretty nice detent. High flat ground, fullered spear point with a swedge and some pretty nice jimping. It is rock solid on the button lock. It is perfectly centered. S35 the end blade, 3 7/16 inches long, 4 5/8 handle. Very nice in the hand. We'll say this one is near mint to like new in box. How's the centering? It's perfect. Web retail $110 for a brand new one, plus tax. Let's do 80 bucks on this one, all in, shipped, priority mail. 105 with an TheApostleP edge. The Civivi C21006B1 Conspirator. Next up, another Civivi. Comes in the box, pouch inside. It is the C18026C-1 Mini Praxis. Talk about value. Check this out, guys. You got 3 3/4 inches of handle. You got OD green G10. You got a deep carry clip, right hand only. You got a flipper on ball bearings, tumbled DLC blade in D2, 2 15/16 inches in length. Stainless steel liner lock, locks up thusly. Rock solid. Smooth free bearings. Perfect centering. We'll call it near mint in box. They sell these for 30 bucks web retail plus tax and postage. How about this, guys? 20 bucks. $20 like it is. 45 with an TheApostleP edge. The sharpening will cost more than the knife. Oh well. That is the Civivi C18026C-1 Mini Praxis. Next up, I have one from Petrified Fish. The knife inside is the PF-B03 Gas. The Gas. We've got a gray G10 handle inlaid with carbon fiber. We got a deep carry clip in black. Tip up, right hand only. It's a ball bearing flipper. And a stainless steel liner nut lock mechanism. Kind of a drop point blade, full flat ground. In D2, 3 5/8 inches long, not a short knife. 4 7/8 inches of handle. Pretty doggone nice in the hand. Feels like it's got a bit of a palm swell. It really doesn't, but it feels like it, I guess because of this contour. Very hand-filling. Centers up perfectly. Locks up perfectly. Near mint to like new in box. Price of these brand new is 44 bucks plus tax and postage. Let's do this one all in, shipped, priority mail, 30 bucks like it is, 55 with an TheApostleP edge. The Petrified Fish PF-B03 Gas. Next up, I've got a traditional lockback from Smith & Sons. According to my research, these are made in the United States of America. It is a large sodbuster lockback, and it is called the Smith & Sons SMLB2103B Mudbug. So the closed length is 4 11/16. It is in tobacco, burlap, micarta, rock solid lockup. The blade is 3 9/16 inches of D2. Pretty squared away, guys. Man, rock solid lockup. Centering is off to the left slightly. Condition is near mint in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $185 web retail. Let's do this one at $140 like it is. $165 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Smith & Sons Mud Bug. Next up, got a couple from the Montana Knife Company, MKC. Proudly made in the United States, working knives for working people. Let's see. This is the Speedgoat in 52-100 with the gray handle. So, what do we got here? We have a beautifully made oil leather sheath, big welt, fold over belt dangle, MKC emblazoned on the backside, but the knife is not inside that sheath. It's in this Kydex affair with a G clip or a J clip. I can never remember what that's supposed to be. Also in Kydex. Cord wrapped handle. By the way, no rattle. Nice retention. Parkerized 52-100. This is a little blotchy from light use, but if you oil that up, it'll go back to solid black, I'm quite sure. Gray paracord handle. 3 3/4 inches of 52-100 and just 3/32 thick. A super slicer with a full flat grind. Super skinny behind the edge. The handle is 4 inches in length. That cord wrap feels good. I mean, it feels really good. Anyway, we'll call this one near mint in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $185. I'm sorry, they were $225 web new. They're not out of stock. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong line. These are in stock at $225 web retail. We're going to price this one at $150 shipped priority mail. And $175 if you'd like it with my edge. That is the MKC Speedgoat. Next up, another one from MKC. This one is the Mini Goat, or Mini Speedgoat as I've listed it, in black. Also 52-100 blade steel. This one comes in the Kydex sheath. The steel clip is mounted. You can go with that J clip if you'd like. No rattle. Nice retention. And here you go, the Mini Speedgoat. This is in a black and gray paracord wrap. 3 inches of parkerized 52-100, just 3/32 thick. And then a 3 5/8 handle. I can get all 4 fingers on that for the smallish knife. Let's see. US made Kydex sheath, 2 clips. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $200 web retail. Let's run this one at $130 like it is. $155 with an ApostleP edge. That is the MKC Mini Speedgoat. Next up, we are going to finish the sale with a couple classic and iconic cold steels. There will be 2 separate listings, but they're the same knife in the same condition. Okay, so the first one, and it won't matter which one you get, guys. They're the same knife. But one of them comes in the new style box, and it is the San Mai Trail Master. And the other one will come in an older box, but it's still the same knife. Obviously 2 different runs. You're going to get, with either one, a reinforced nylon sheath and a Securex molded plastic sheath. And you guys all know the Trail Master, don't ya? That is like 5/16 stock, and it is VG1 San Mai. Very hard to see the demarcation line, but it's about right there. It is a full height convex to the edge grind, a la Bark River. And oh my, what a job they do. VG1 San Mai, 9 7/16 inches of blade length. Then you got a stainless steel guard and aluminum lanyard tube, flared. Cray-X handle, read Craton. So let's look at the other one. Yeah. Actually, they might be the same run. They're definitely the same era. The etching is exactly the same. Anyhow. I'm going to call them near mint in box because there might be some tiny little sheath scratches, but they're basically brand new. They've never been used to cut anything that I can tell. Yeah. So web price of the San Mai Trail Master currently is at $266. $266. These are very near mint in box with 2 sheaths. I think we'll do $215 like they are. If you got to have an ApostleP edge, and I can understand why you would, add $35. So let's do $250 with an ApostleP edge. They'll be listed as Cold Steel Trail Master San Mai #1 and #2. It won't matter which one you get. If you really care about the box, tell me. Okay? I don't think it matters. That, my friends, will bring us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the ApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm administering the sale, hanging out at our Airbnb in the Smokies, so I'm enjoying it. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys.